So this is the hub. It's kind of all things Orbit, HashPack, and Hedera. The general flow that we follow is we dive into the latest updates for both Orbit and HashPack, and then we kind of dive into the latest Hedera happenings and kind of open up conversation around that. A couple speakers that we bring up regularly, and then we end it kind of by talking about what's to come, what's next on our plate. And yeah, I kind of love this Friday time slot. I think it's a great way to wrap up the week and kick off the weekend with just good info in your brain that you're not, you shouldn't be thinking about the network when you're touching grass, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree, man. Super happy to be here again. This is a great spot to have great information, and look at the room, man, packed with absolutely legends, even on a Friday afternoon like that. And that's awesome. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, huge thank you to all of you. As we're getting stuff pinned, I know I want to talk about for Hedera Haps, like the developer sentiment and developer activity amongst L1s. That just we gotta chime in on that for a second because I can share why I think that's actually happening. And then Lambdaplex, kind of new fully on-chain order book that's being built. It's a little bit different than how we're doing our limit orders with Orbit, but I think it's really important to talk about the differences because they're both really good. They're just kind of aiming to offer advanced order types to kind of a different set of people and allow the execution of those orders to be fulfilled in a different way than, let's say, we do it. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing by any means. I'll dive right into it. But before I do that, we've got Phil with HashPack. We've got Weston, the handsome dude. And we've got Koza, who's kind of our Discord gremlin, demon, Dobby. I don't really know. He's amazing. We've been working with him for a long time, and we're excited to have him up here chatting.
What's up, Koza? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Living the life, man. Living the life en route for Toronto, man. Just having fun in a room packed with legends. And another great show, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Are you Phil? You're in Toronto?
I'm en route to Toronto. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I am outside of San Francisco, and it's actually sunny today, which is lovely. All right, diving in. So this morning, we pushed an update to our buy flow UI. So the modal itself, when you're buying, has changed a little bit. We added 3 different kind of customizable profiles for users to set different parameters. 3 different ways. You might want 2% slippage on one trade, 10% slippage on another, or your default buy amounts depending on your mindset, right? Like if you're trading a high velocity coin on meme job, you might only be comfortable risking like 100 H bar, 150 H bar. And then if you're trading something bigger like USDC or H bar, you might be throwing a little bit more size at that. So you can kind of create different strategies and different trading profiles to quickly choose between. We're really kind of happy with that. And then on top of that, we also deployed a rather large full stack update to the app this morning. We added a simulator to our transaction flow. And the simulator kind of allows for a pre-flight check to run before a real transaction runs on mainnet. And the beauty and benefit of this is it kind of creates it prevents failed transactions inherently because the transaction's not going to send unless it kind of passes the simulation. So the end goal of that is to reduce the amount of failed transactions that users are experiencing in Orbit. We've seen this been done throughout Web3, throughout, I think HashPack also does a simulation on their swaps. So yeah, we feel really good about that. And then as a result, though, we are kind of running into a couple buy-sell errors today. So we're working on addressing and fixing those up. So if you do run into any of those, I apologize, but we are working on it. That is what we pushed this morning, and we're excited to kind of see how that all pans out.
Chilling it, man, per usual, man. Let's go.
Thank you. So HashPack, I think the debit card news is still like front and center. I'm excited. Have you guys gotten any not survey results, but feedback on the amount of users registered? What's the initial hype like?
Yeah, it's really good. It's been really good. Like for sure, like it's coming out from our niche. Like we have a huge niche, of course, like inside the entire, because it's been great. Like very well received. The feedback is 100% positive on the side of things. After that, it's where is it available? Like in terms of especially Europe, places around the world where people want it. But overall, like the feedback has been absolutely killing. I've been gathering a whole bunch of stuff like through feedback through, and it really varies from I just registered, like someone signed me up, or just like this would be much easier than to moving it from other CEX, or this is a no brainer from, I think that was Joe High Times, or someone said fuck yes I would sign me up, or so yeah. I mean, people are really hyped about it, so we're gauging interest right now because there's so many ways and possibilities that this could go. I want to hype people up, but at the same time, I want to manage expectations where there's a possibility also that this will not happen.
Yeah.
Because we need to yes, it's business oriented, right? So it's just a matter of like how many people are genuinely interested and how many can we convert that to actual customers. That's really the key to it, because down the road, this is money. So and usually for folks who didn't know, like you cannot pass like an order of like 20 cards. That's not how it works. 1,000 cards would be kind of on the lower side of things. So they need to be big orders. But again, we're really adamant to that. I think also on my personal end, that's where a huge part of the next part of the business could be potentially, because we can reach like a huge audience out there, especially right now. I'm in a bus right now and no one knows what a HashPack is. And probably they don't need to know about crypto, but they can spend stuff still with the app. So that could break like a glass ceiling that we all been wanting for so long now. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head too. Like when you obfuscate the fact that a user might even be using crypto and it's just we're implementing a new vehicle that is very reminiscent with something that we're already familiar with, that is like singularity moment, that's adoption in real time, and we're watching it get headed by HashPack right now. I'm already registered. I'm super excited. I think there is like an endless amount of cool kid points to be dropping that card in front of your friends at the bar or something. I'm stoked. It's going to be awesome. And then yeah, I know someone mentioned it a couple days ago that the initial mock-up designs that you guys are showing, that is going to turn some heads when you roll that out, dude. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. Big shout out to Jacob, man. He's killing it with the designs, man. When he pulled that out first, I was like, yo, we need a metal version, a metallic version, so that you can just flash
Oh,
and put
yeah,
it out
you
there.
need a metal version, 100%.
So yeah, it's been fun. Feedback has been absolutely awesome. I want to give a big shout out to everyone, like everyone down here in attendance, man. Big shout out to Wild Tigers, our champions, Higher Grounds, Cube, Cosmic, Pixel Moon, Fugitive. Like everyone's been giving us like great feedback and push like throughout the entire week. We still got 3 days to go. Numbers are going up. So again, as many people as possible out there. Afterwards, this gives us like the leverage and the leeway to come out there and those spin companies and just go, yo, here's the interest. Here's what we potentially could do. Here's potentially also the conversion, what it could be looking like. And yeah, it could be fun, right? So yeah, let us know, sign up, repost the whole thing. It's on our pin post right now.
Absolutely. Blow that up, spread the word. And speaking of the word, I haven't actually talked with Weston about this because, well, not because. I think it's funny that we haven't chatted about this because we talk every day. But Weston, what's your feelers on the debit card? I feel like you, of all people, would be getting one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. It's the first, I guess, occurrence of this on the native network, but seems like a growing concept across Web3. I know Coinbase came out earlier this year with their own card. A lot of exciting. I've actually seen a few in person, so that's been awesome. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what Hashback can do with it, see the usage and whatnot, and how they're going to handle it. I don't know if it's just going to be a USDC or if it's going to be across the board assets, sort of all merged together. A lot of opportunity though.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I really like, I think Para Wallet over on Algorand recently also launched a card, and one thing that I just cannot give kudos enough to the Hashpack team is they are constantly thinking ahead and looking at the rest of the broader crypto market for inspiration. And that is a huge, like we are very aligned with that mindset because that is totally how we are building out Orbit and looking to add new features into Hedera. We're finding that inspiration by looking at what else is already being adopted, and I think that's a great way to build. It keeps you from being siloed. You're not looking at directly what's in front of you and trying to make that better. You're looking at what doesn't even exist here, what exists elsewhere, and can we bring it to the network? And I love that. I think that is like what you guys are really good at, and I love working with you guys because of that.
Much appreciated and 1,000% reciprocated too. So yeah, man. I mean, it's just Wow, side load. I love that. I love that term. Yeah, big shout out to Parago, by the way. We've got on really tight with them because I feel like they're always bringing some great innovation on there, and Algorand really rocks too. They're going to be coming up over Pack the Mic at the end of the month also to be talking about that because they have a card also just to be gathering more feedback and insights as to how is it they do. Maybe a couple of key points that we could have missed, maybe a couple of points where we can exchange. So yeah, anyways, long story short, yeah, absolutely reciprocated. We love Orbit, and yeah, hopefully the card come into fruition sometimes for everyone to enjoy because down the road we're doing this, but it really is for you guys to have more fun, like everywhere.
Yeah, it's more a way to play with your bars at the end of the day. All right, so jumping into Hedera Haps, one thing that got circulated around this week was core developers for blockchains at the L1 layer. And Hedera is proudly sitting at number 2 right behind Ethereum.
This is crazy.
And
crazy stats.
It does not surprise me to see that, and there's a handful of reasons why, and I'll share kind of like for immediately why that makes sense to me. You know, one of Hedera's biggest strengths is the fact that it's a very accessible network to build on. You can use their SDK. You don't need a background in Solidity. You don't necessarily need to understand smart contracts. And that was what we have worked with and seen for years now. And it wasn't until this last year, maybe last year and a half, where we pushed EVM support. And that alone is what allowed us at Orbit to kind of take the guardrails off and start building. Was we are very comfortable with smart contracts. We have a background in that, and that only opens up developer access to the network because now people with a background in Solidity can come and play on the network, and we're seeing that happen. It feels like we're seeing on-chain and smart contract-based use cases come like multiple times a week, every week right now. So that number is it just makes sense to me. You know, Hedera is so accessible right now, and I think we're kind of at like a melting pot point where a lot of the curious developers are checking us out and realizing, oh, this is actually a very stable, cheap, efficient place to build on, and it's not gated. I don't have to learn some arbitrary language just to build on that network. I can approach it with my background information and probably get building, and that is awesome. I think lowering the barriers to entry to build is a phenomenal approach to making your network more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, you're getting me hyped, man. Wow. I think that's a great, that's another great indication. I had a point there. Hold on. Yeah, great indication, like, again, to be fading like markets and price action and whatnot. Like a great KPI just to be showcasing how the network is really active and especially healthy is to be looking at that precise metric. That's how you can be bullish. How can you not be bullish on the network, the entire infrastructure that's being built right now? Use cases, apps, d-apps, potential card, stuff like, how can you not be bullish on the entire ecosystem right now when you're seeing a metric like that? It's fun to see. It means that we're not only attracting people, we're keeping them because the ecosystem is being sticky, because it's easy to use, it's fast, it's green, the whole thing, right? But there's also a pool of people want to be sharing great information and building cool things. Bullish. That's awesome.
100%. This week we also saw a new on-chain order book kind of deploy or get announced called Lambdaplex. I'm personally really excited about them. They are approaching limit orders differently than we are, and I'll talk about it because I think it's worth understanding kind of the benefits to both and what both are kind of unlocking for the network. Lambdaplex is using a very traditional finance method of filling an order. So if you set a price, your order is only going to get filled at that price. And the reason how that can happen is they're not setting limit orders on an LP itself or with a DEX. They're actually placing an order directly on the chain that anybody can fulfill, which is rad. That is very decentralized and true to Web3. Big fan of that method. Its efficiency and speed of fill will only go up over time as more and more bots and APIs open up. It's great. I think it's like a very institutional grade solution for advanced order types. In the way that we are doing our limits is kind of more standardized from what we've seen terminals do throughout Solana, Ethereum, where our limit orders are actually interacting directly with DEX contracts, and you're trading in that pool. So our limit orders do have they take into account slippage, price impact of the pool. That does translate to a variable amount in the output depending on your slippage. But the nice thing is that rather than have bots or good actors or just actors in general fill these orders on the chain, our backend is executing the orders on behalf of the user. That being said, the orders that Orbit makes are on chain and anybody can fill them, but we have a dedicated backend to executing that. And that kind of translates to immediacy and speed, which is a huge focus for us at Orbit. So one way to kind of view it is, if the market conditions dip and your conditions on your limit order are met in Orbit, we're going to execute it. We're going to fire that off for you right then and there. We'll take into account slippage, so it's immediate. And then Lambdaplex will be a little bit different, where the market conditions may dip, but maybe someone doesn't have enough to fulfill your entire order. So they'll fill just what they have at that price that you've set, and that might take a little bit longer for the full order to be filled for the user. But it is super accurate for the output. There's no variable because of slippage or price impact. So huge benefits to both, in my opinion, and they're both kind of solving different parts of the ecosystem, and I love that. I'm really excited to see what Lambdaplex does, what it unlocks. I think I've been lurking in their Discord, and it sounds like they're going to be pushing a Binance API pretty soon, and that essentially just opens up bots between us and Binance to fulfill these orders that Lambdaplex is putting up. And the more kind of API integrations that they do, the more efficient and kind of cohesive their fill method is going to be and feel for the user. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was really surprised. I didn't see that one coming at all. I'm on the website right now. It's really clean. I love the colors. I love the blending. It's really on site. Weston, what do you think about that, Weston?
No, I mean, I've gotten a few questions about it over the last couple of days, but definitely two different use cases: more institutional grade, maybe market maker focused for the new Lambdaplex entity, and then, or more like Gino said, more of the standardized route on Web3, which is, you set a limit order. As soon as the price hits, it's going to fulfill it with your full bag executed at that one given time. Whereas Lambdaplex is sort of a slow, picking away at whatever's available on the network to execute at the price that you give. So two completely different methods, two completely different use cases. Haven't seen what Lambdaplex is doing on other chains yet, so it's sort of very innovative in what we're seeing them bring to the ecosystem.
Yeah, personally, I get excited about anybody tackling like an institutional grade concept. It's essentially taking something like a vehicle or a method that we've experienced on centralized exchanges and then taking it off the centralized exchange, and that's awesome. I think that's really bullish to see happening here on Hedera. It's going to attract a lot of more savvy, bigger players, perhaps. That's kind of the first thing that I look at, and yeah, that only gets me excited at Orbit. Patches, kind of a legendary developer on the network at this point.
Hell yeah. What a legend.
He has been cooking something up this week. I don't know, for those of them been listening or following along, on the 1st, he made an update to Twitter saying that he had just executed one of the craziest transactions of his life on the network, and that it had very broad, long-reaching implications and things that could happen as a result. And then last night, he followed up on that thread and in a very vague, cryptic, soon ... manner. I am very excited to see what he's unlocked for Hedera. That dude is just a constant source of innovation.
Yeah, it's crazy. I really don't know what that is. Like for real. Yeah, it dates back from exactly a year ago, like November 1st, 2024. Yeah, excited to see, man. Patches, and he's a legend. I know he's working on so many things. I know he's also on Hashgraph Online's. But yeah, this is bullish. Really looking forward to it. I know he tagged the HBAR Bull on there. So yeah, potentially a great interviews inbound, man. So we can find out. But yeah, this Patches, man. Looking forward to what Ty's bringing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
I know it's going to be good. I too have no idea what he's cooking. Very excited for that HBAR Bull interview. We'll definitely be tuning in to kind of hear more. And I would highly recommend anyone in the audience to do the same. He is totally a source to follow. Patches is one of the good ones for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
What's going on in HashPack this week? or I guess it's Friday. So what did you guys kind of
Yeah,
hit?
we shipped a couple of stuff, man. So we had some themes going around. We had 6 new themes in the span of the last 7 days, 8 days. We shipped 4 new seasonal ones, bangers again by Jacob and Tyler. Just fun themes that you can just grab in H-Bar and Pack. Also, we also shipped our spooky theme, Halloween one. But if you didn't grab it, too late for you. Now you got to go to secondary marketplaces and grab it. It's really nice looking. It's a banger. Check it out. It's really bloody. And we brought back also our Half-Life theme, of course, around the game. And it's really a banger because that came up through our platform, HashPack Vote. And so that's through governance. So yeah, that was really nice. So we shipped that 10 days ago. Aside from that, I know, listen, there's a fix for the almighty Android 16 thingy that's also inbound that Tyler hinted, so that's going to be bullish. We also have, and with the card, I mean, the card's been taking like a whole piece of the mind share like the entire week. We've been bombarded with feedback and questions and whatnot. So, yeah, man, the end of the year is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean that makes total sense that the card is kind of taking up the bandwidth right now. I think that's understandable
Yeah.
for sure. Kudos to your community for having good taste because I slurped that Half-Life theme as soon as I could. Huge fan,
Yeah,
huge
awesome.
fan, big fan. And I see
Yeah.
Pluto in the audience. Good morning, Pluto. Hope your Friday's going well.
Yeah, it's a banger theme, man. I rock it on 2 of mine. It's really good. Like the contrast of the orange is just like, it's a banger, man. I love it.
We definitely like our burnt oranges here at Orbit, 100%. And I guess
yeah.
what else? I don't know if we got it pinned, but there's a very big Gen Zeo call happening on the 10th. And
Yeah.
it's basically got every single heavy hitter on the network all in one spot. So I think that's going to be a lovely, lovely space for us to kind of listen in on and get the latest that all of these majors are actually doing.
Yeah, that's going to be a banger week for Genzio. They're really taking the forefront in terms of all media integration also inside the ecosystem right now. Hold on, I'm trying to find the pin post right now. Yeah, pretty much everyone's going to be on there. I think it's going to be through 2 shows. It's going to be it's going to be through a series, but it's 2 shows. Hold on, I'm trying to find the post. Yeah, it's here. Right here. So it's going to be the entire week. So the 10th to the 14th. Enjoy a full week of educational threads, deep dives, and live streams with Bunzo, Dovu, HashPack, HGraph, Centex, and Kabila. Join Genzio and see the businesses or building on the Hedera Foundation. There, that. Yeah, it's going to be bullish. It's going to be a banger week, man, with great content. May's going to be on there also for us on Thursday, I believe. Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. We need this. Timing is proper too, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more on timing. I think the whole network seems to be doing a really good job of like not cascading, but following up good news with presence, and I think that's really good. It keeps activity at the front. It keeps the major players again just at the front, and that only helps with network exposure and all. It helps kind of bolster us at retail holding and participating on the network. It makes you kind of gives you more excitement than what you're holding and what you're a part of.
1000% agree. And yeah, that's a next point we can cover also later on. But yeah, I mean, with the BPGC initiative around the Forever Mint, but going ecosystem wide also, that comes at proper timing. So next week could be really good. And again, that's another showcase for anyone listening and anyone listening to the recording where, again, I'll never say it enough, like all day price action, like look at all the metrics that's around you, everyone that's building, everyone that's crafting. We talked about devs also. We talked about, potentially a HashPack card. We are talking about weekly based ecosystem broad educational stuff around content and media for the ecosystem. It's never been growing this much. It's never been this crazy that much. So keep on tackling it because it's just fun to see and it's exciting.
Yeah, I would say it's like approaching terminal velocity and all cylinders are firing on the network, and that is just exciting given how long so many of us, I know there's so many people in the crowd that have just been here for so long, like before there was even a dex, and that cracks me up that some of us have been here that long because the network is definitively in a different spot than it was in previous cycles, and there is just too much going for us right now.
100%. Yeah.
Koza, what are you
We
digging
can.
into?
Yeah.
What's piqued your interest?
I think one of the biggest things that, ever since kind of aligning myself with Hedera again, I mean, you introduced me to it, maybe like 5 years ago now. And really just seeing the development of the space and me just coming kind of from the community angle, I really see the entire space as like this aggregator of communities versus people kind of siloing themselves or soloing themselves out. And it's a really amazing thing to see because it's kind of that vision that really got me into Web3 and more specifically dealing with the communities in Web3, helping build and foster those connections. Um, so now that we actually have things to do on the network, I mean, back when you asked, "Hey, have you ever heard of HBAR?" I didn't see too much. Not to say it was I didn't see the potential, but it just still kind of felt like a ghost town. But now here I am chasing after a ghost of my own, and trying to make a name for myself, make a name for Orbit, and just being this involved has really been not just a great thing, but it's been an eye opener to all the possibilities. Tuning into a lot of the spaces recently that Phil's been involved in, from like the development side all the way down to these amazing communities that are kind of operating, and just learning what I can, from them, rubbing shoulders with the right people, and just being able to try to position myself to better serve Orbit, and push us a little bit further. It's every little bit counts in times like this, and I'm really looking forward to a lot of the cross chain action, that we've been hearing all this chatter about, especially when it comes to XRP like-minded networks, and just kind of fostering that functionality and implementing those in the platforms that we're all building out. It's been a really cool thing, really cool experience so far, and just looking to keep it up.
Yeah, well said. I think, when you plug in and associate yourself with builders, it really does kind of open you up to like what they're looking at and what is exciting them. And it just kind of shows you, it definitely gives you exposure to all the different solutions that you might not be aware of if you're just kind of lurking at a retail level or like a closed off level. I think plugging in and contributing is, or participating, not contributing, is great. Weston does unfortunately have to step out of the space, but it was good to hear his handsome voice for a little bit this morning. He'll be back next week. He's just got something to take care of.
Hey, cheers, man. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thanks, y'all as well.
And I just kind of wanted to parrot more on what you said about cross-chain. Special shout out to DeRuler down in the crowd. That dude is doing God's work bridging NFT communities right now, and
Legend.
absolute legend. It's great. Orbit's focus is inherently always going to be on HTS and tokens, and eventually ERC20 tokens. But it feels good to be associated with like-minded people that are tackling a different part of what it means to be cross-chain, and bridge. So again, just kudos to DeRuler for kind of spearheading that and making it happen. You brought Doginals to Hedera, which I still crack up about. That is crazy to me. And you did that largely. I mean, it wasn't just you; it was a handful of others, but I know you were involved in that. And you and Joe are constantly showing up in the First Ledger spaces, and keep doing it because I think that's the biggest thing is just letting like-minded networks, so XRP, Algo come to mind, that there's a ton of similarities between both user bases, and that's you kind of need to be out on the field in spreading the good word for them to even know that. And then in terms of us, what we're going to be doing and focusing on in terms of cross chain is we're very excited about the Squid Router bridge coming online very soon. It's going to be happening really soon here on the network. I was told the first couple weeks of November, so that's basically any day now. That's going to allow us to kind of start building out infrastructure in orbit to facilitate bridging into orbit, perhaps letting our users interact with marketplaces elsewhere. I'm not going to specify what marketplace comes to mind because that's our secret ace in the hole right now.
Damn. Spoiler alert.
Oh, I mean, I will say this, and if you've been paying attention to, it was in the First Ledger space. Charles Adkins joined one of the spaces, and he name dropped a protocol that we had already been eyeing, and we had already decided that we want to bring to Hedera. and he name dropped it, and I'm pretty sure he knows that we are looking at it. So I'm really excited to build that out and kind of give HBAR exposure to some very big adult markets, and yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Let's go. We're ready. We've been ready. We're here, man.
Oh yeah, it's about time.
Different.
I think that's kind of the best way
Oh
to
yeah,
view
yeah, yeah.
2025 and 2026 is like the training wheels for the network are off, and now it's just a matter of making the network competitive and offer the same solutions to us here on the network that are being offered to users on other networks. And yeah, that is like definitely what just keeps me passionate about what we're doing with Orbit. It's really exciting. It's a very big undertaking, but we have a pretty not a pretty we have a very passionate team. You know, most of us are full time at this point, and it feels really good to be contributing to something that matters. And yeah, again, you know, I've been here for 5 years, so to come full circle and now be contributing to something that is actually going to be pushing the network forward, that feels endlessly rad.
It does, man. Did I rug? Am I still there?
Oh, you're still there. You're good.
Awesome. Yes. I mean, I guarantee you that, if you take any use case, any great entity, any great app that you love, your favorite one inside the ecosystem, and you push it out there like cross ecosystem, and you're like, yo, I love this. I love this marketplace. I love Santex. I love HashPack. I love Orbit. I love the DPGC. I love Ryan's photography. I love Hunk. I love the stuff that I love. And you go inside other ecosystem, I guarantee you that is going to stick. That we talked about this last week, I think, and I'll probably never stop talking about it. Where we're arriving at a point of maturity inside the ecosystem and the mind share of people that are really here, and they're confident enough to be going head to head to other ecosystem and just like, yo, listen, we got this and we're confident with it. And not only this, but we are confident that we're most probably number one to this. And you're most probably going to be using a HashPack when you're going to be talking about those folks. So it's just fun to go out there and just bounce back ideas, man. Because the last 4 years has been like crushing, down in the trenches, building stuff. But look where we are now. It's a great time, man.
Yeah, no, well said. I made a tweet the other day about you know, because of the network specifics, whether it be no MEV, no gas, for us at Orbit, like that is the unicorn situation for a casino. Like every network right now has some type of pretty major downfall from the user's perspective. Like I got sandwich attacked multiple times playing on Solana. Gas, I hate gas. Like I ditched Ethereum the moment I found
Yeah.
HBAR because of gas,
Yeah.
and I don't ever really plan on going back. I might take advantage, especially if Orbit opens us up to other markets. I might take advantage of stuff happening elsewhere, but I've been very comfy on HBAR, and building here just made very obvious sense, especially with the void and the niche that we could fill. It's just exciting, and I think a lot of us in attendance right now are very aware of what sets Hedera apart. And yeah, back to what you were saying is like we're hitting this point where maturity is now here, and now it's letting the rest of the crypto space know, like, hey, those solutions and those things that you offer, we've got it here too, and here's why it's better for the reasons that we all know. So yeah, just it's a really exciting time to be on Hedera. There's so much happening, and there's been so much happening for year after year, and sometimes it doesn't feel like that. I think it's really easy to kind of get stuck on the chart or the day-to-day action, but zoom
Yes.
out. Like zooming out is the
Yeah.
best thing I ever taught myself how to do.
I don't have enough hundreds for that, man. It's true. Absolute bars.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the network just finally reach a point where it's able to kind of reap the fruits of its labor. And when I mean labor, I mean there's been countless individuals, protocols, platforms, teams, big braining this for the longest time. And just to see the leaps and bounds that we've made in 2025, I mean, it's not quite time for our yearly wrap up spaces yet, but if this is any, indicator of how that's going to go, then I think it's a very positive outlook for 2026. I know that Orbit's stepping into 2026 with some huge plans. I know HashPack stepping into 2026 with enormous plans, and just to see all of the growth and innovation has really been super awesome. Just it builds confidence in the network. It makes it a little bit more enticing for the people who haven't quite discovered us yet. And the louder we are about it, the more we're going to see that traction really catch, and it's just taking off from there. It's launch time.
No, what very well said. I know we briefly mentioned or talked about it, but the Forevermint party, the network-wide Forevermint party, I think is just so rad. I mentioned it last week how Forevermint, the as a concept, kind of broke my understanding of NFTs in the best way possible. Like I had spent the last cycle kind of writing off not writing off NFTs, but just not really understanding how it could rally again. Like I was a part of the bubble on Ethereum in 2019, and when it ended for like reasons that just felt human nature. And when I feel like something's human nature, it's really hard to bounce back from something like that. And then we saw the Dead Pixels and their Foreverman, and I remember looking at my screen and I was just like, wow, that genius. They just did it. They just figured out how to breathe new life into the NFTs as a concept. And it's a genius concept. We don't need to talk about how it's currently getting yoinked and pushed elsewhere. But that is a very exciting thing, and that's how I view it. It's like, sure, their ideas being replicated elsewhere, but at the end of the day, it was innovated here on Hedera, and that is what the focus should be about Forevermints. And I'm really excited to kind of see this network-wide party. I think it is going to be a total party, and it's just a great way to kind of band all these communities together and rally under kind of minting fervor, if you will.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. Again, awesome week, man, next week. I think that's going to be on the 19th. That's going to be crazy, man. There's a DPGC, of course. There's just PFP. There's Wild Tigers. There's Wooks. There's Bored Ape. There's Fatty Mania. There's CWAS. It's available over Centex, over HashPack, by the way, directly to our deep link and our launchpad section. Atlantis and Kabila. I mean, everyone's on there. So huge push, man. I mean, November is going to be absolutely fucking crazy. And again, we're this is our moment. We're mature enough to be pushing this. We're mature enough to be comparing ourselves humbly, right? But at the same time, we're this is our time now. Let's fucking run it.
Yeah, this is our time, and it's cozy. Yeah, I mean, you're fired up for November. I'm just like comfy with my blankie and some hot chocolate. It's just like a cozy time right now. We're very busy.
You're having hot
but
chocolate now?
oh, I mean, yeah, I'm sipping. It's cold
Awesome,
outside.
awesome.
It's great. It's just a really comfortable place to see the network mature and get to where it's currently at. It does not mean the work is done. Don't get it twisted, but it makes the work very, very aligned, I think.
I agree. I think it comes through.
Yep, preach.
Make sure not to leave
100%.
anything behind. This is Scarborough Stop.
No,
The
you're
boss
good.
is talking to me. Yeah. I think it comes with a measure of like acknowledgement also. Like the work isn't done at all. Like 1000%. But also like coming up to again when we go to other ecosystems and they validate like also okay, you got great tools and wow, that's a banger use case, or wow, or Forevermint. It's also that's an acknowledgement. It's like a tap on the back saying to you like what you're doing is it's banger. Like keep pushing, keep crushing, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the innovation happening at Hedera is like the sole reason for stickiness that we're seeing and getting support in. Thank you again. I'm going to keep saying to Ruler because it's like actually tangible that we have new people entering the ecosystem and staying, and it just gets me excited.
Hell yes, bullish.
So we could probably transition into kind of what's up next for Orbit. Essentially, we'll be pushing we're pushing updates every week, every possibly couple times a week. So this space specifically is kind of a good way to summarize what's been done and what we plan on doing in the next week, right? So right now our biggest focus is completing and kind of better delivering charting for meme job tokens. We're calling it advanced charting. It's not advanced charting. It's just proper charting for meme job tokens. That is kind of our focus for next week. We've got a marketing video that's getting baked for the meme job integration once it's all clean and spick and span. And we'll be working with the meme job team to kind of do a conjoined marketing push for that. I'll be doing a space with them. We haven't gotten the time figured out quite yet, but I'll announce it most certainly. And we've got a little bit of a points issue with limit order cells where points aren't being tracked. Now, the nice thing about points is we can retroactively add them just by running a script and reading the transactions that wallet has done. So it's not like your points are not being captured. You're just not seeing them on the front end. And that is, not comfortable and it doesn't feel great, but we are aware of it and we're looking to solve that next week. As a whole, we've kind of decided to kind of shift gears for November and December to do a lot of like in-house prep and cleaning to set us up for success for 2026. We hit the ground running very hard in March of this year, and there were not, I don't want to say we cut corners, but there was a handful of stuff that we did not prioritize to get the product out. Mostly like organization on our end. This isn't like we didn't cut corners with our smart contracts or something like that, but it's so that we can kind of scale up and hit 2026 very, very well. So we're not going to be pushing major features the rest of this year. I think if anything, we're just trying to get our app state in a cleaner, stronger spot. And yeah, I don't have any news on TGE today. It is something that we're talking about basically every day. And we're being mindful of kind of other projects that have launches planned in Q4 this year. We personally aren't in a rush to do the token, but we do want to deliver the INO, obviously. So there is some freedom that we have there where we know we want to deliver it, but we can actually make the executive decision to do what's best for us, our community, and the network as a whole.
Yeah, in due time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I invited Deruler and Cuba, but maybe they're doing adult job things and they can't speak, and that's okay.
For us on our side, we still got we absolutely shipped, the balance change directly in app. That's been getting some amazing feedback thus far. It's been really good. It's just fun. You just see the balance, negative or positive, right? That's pretty good. Awesome feature. There's also the trending tokens also in the swap tab that you can look at. Oh, Cube is requesting to hop on the mic. Of course, the teams that we talked about, and in a couple of months, I would say, years end, I don't know, but a couple of months we're going to be shipping stuff around small and medium, even big audience to be onboarding folks. It's going to be, listen, it's going to be awesome. Of course, it's going to be tight with back and all sorts of great things. So yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah.
Bullish. I personally love the balance change. Again, you guys.
It's just fun. It's so simple. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a good, comfy thing to have. And again, you guys are constantly listening and constantly optimizing, and we take a lot of inspiration from that for sure.
Oh,
Good day,
yes.
Cube.
Yo, what's up, man? You did catch me. I was listening, but I didn't see the invite because I'm also trading in Orbit as I'm
Oh,
listening to you talk about
Wow.
Orbit.
GG's.
So, but I'm here now. What's up?
what up? What up? No, you said, now that you mentioned trading in Orbit, one thing that I talked about with Brady from Bonzo a couple weeks back. We were talking about the liquidity vacuum kind of black swan attack that happened in the crypto space and how it caused USDC to depeg. And he was immediately curious. He was like, "Oh, did any of your users set limit orders for USDC?" And it's just a really funny topic to even talk about that, because I think the average person looks at a stable coin and trusts the word stable so that it doesn't depeg, right? So just the concept of setting a limit order for USDC is like some esoteric knowledge, but that is by far one of my favorite parts about a limit order, is that you can just set some absurd, crazy thing, and yeah, it might not ever get hit, but I've seen USDC get depegged 4 or 5 times since being in crypto, and every time I mean, I trust Circle, I trust USDC. So for me personally, a limit order on USDC at like 95 cents, that's just a comfy thing to have set aside, because if you get it, well, you're going to catch it go right back to $1, and it might even overcorrect past $1. So just putting you on some game, if you're not aware of that, that is like definitely a strategy with USDC here on the network that you can now do with limit orders.
That's pro tips right there, man. I always try to keep at least a couple of those going. But you know what? I didn't even think about putting it on Orbit. Guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and take care of real quick.
Is there? How's your Friday going, Cube?
Dude, it's good, man. The week's been brutal at the Fiat, but it's Friday. We're good. I've knocked out all my deliverables. Everything's going to install, and the rest is out of my hands. Now it goes back to the devs to take care of their job.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Life is good then. Nice to see you here, man.
Likewise, likewise.
Yeah, I think that might be it for tagged
Right?
posts.
You know, I was checking out. It looks like now the leaderboard loads every single time that I pull it up. So I'm not sure what you guys did, but that's fantastic. It's like overall stability has gotten better and better every time I use your app. So much love on that. Definitely helps being able to like rotate between the tabs now, and everything's like buttery smooth. Uh, it's every little change like that does make a big difference. So shout out for that.
Yeah, thank you for the kudos. That is like we couldn't agree more. You know, we have such a mountain of small little things that is kind of why we're shifting gears to address them and focus on them. Because when you hit a lot of small little things, the overall feel in app becomes much more buttery, much more smooth, and yeah, we're pretty dedicated to improving the state of the app. It's kind of one thing that is hard for me being in beta and maybe wanting to push the app and wanting to market the app. It's truly at a state where we are more in like hibernation mode and incubation mode still. We're still in beta. We're happy to be in beta because there's kind of a lot for us to improve upon, and that kind of plays into maybe why we're just not foaming at the mouth to get this token out. It's not really the time for a company or a protocol like this to be putting a token out. I'd rather personally have the app be at a stronger spot. And I think another thing too is the value prop of Orbit and the token is inherently going to rely on the app, meaning the token's going to do well if the app's doing well. And um, knowing that it's just easy for us to make our decisions because our focus is always going to be the app, right? We do have a little NFT collection, we do plan on doing a token, but before either of those enter a conversation, the focus is the trading platform itself. That is what we are kind of dedicated to, making the best that it can be, and everything else follows that and serves that.
Couldn't have said it better. And just kind of bringing it back to, your statement of being happy to be in beta. There's two types of teams out there, right? There's teams that use beta as an excuse as to why things are, and then there's teams that harness that concept of being in beta to improve and to smooth things out. And it's not just us internally, right? It's since day one we've tried to provide a platform where people in the community can voice their feedback, their suggestions, and if it makes sense, it's something that we've been very adamant on implementing. It's not just us on this journey alone and us just saying, "Oh, you get the product as we make it. If you don't like it, suck it up." But we're kind of including everybody along that journey. We're keeping them kind of in QA mode, and we're listening. Ever since I started, building the Discord, we've had people in there um, giving us amazing feedback and kind of helping just shape the way that the product is not just built, but the way that it's interacted with. So it's been a really cool approach, to building something of this magnitude, something that has already and is still positioning itself to hit firsts on the network and just being able to bring these features to the traders that deserve them.
Absolutely. And special shout out to Koza and the Discord itself. The Discord is an amazing way for you guys to kind of stay up to date and talk to us. We are in there all day, every day. That is definitely the best way to communicate with the Orbit team. We are constantly listening to you guys, because we really do value user feedback. I don't think there's really never been a case, and there probably won't ever be a case where someone gives suggestion or feedback and we don't take it to heart. Um, like it's important to us, and it's kind of the most valuable feedback we can get is from you guys. So we really are encouraging people to come in and share your thoughts and help make Orbit that much better. We are a small team and we will be doing a team spaces very soon. This month is the plan. I'm trying to kind of position it after this kind of coordinated meme job push, but it's only 4 of us, and now Koza is our fifth with kind of spearheading community involvement and helping me out. um, we're a small team and we take a lot of pride in that. The reality of that is that our dev speed is, constrained to what 4 people can do. But it doesn't. We're not defeated by any of that. If anything, it just makes us more excited. It's kind of all in our hands, and we are more than competent and capable to make this happen. So yeah, come join us for the ride. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at.
The ride is awesome, man. Shout out to small teams, man. Same for us, man. I mean, that's why it's really fun, because every move matters, every call matters. We're all humans, but every shows matters. Every connection that you have zero time to waste. You have no meetings that you're like, okay, well, no, let's just this can make a difference, you know. So let's just go ham. Let's go 11-on-10. So yeah, big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to small teams, and hell yeah, let's go.
What up, Cube? Got your hand up.
Yeah. Quick question, actually. Um, so I know that for now, at least, main focus is and remains to be desktop version of
Yes.
Orbit, right? And I know there's like a couple people have somehow finagled it to like go work on mobile browsers and stuff, which is cool. I've managed to do it once before as well. Even though I know you said, you should be trading on desktop if you want to have the full experience and all that. That's, I get it. But that being said, and I'll put you and maybe even a little bit on HashPack here, a little pressure. When can we expect focus to shift over to mobile, or at least a little bit, so that we
Yep.
can start testing it? And over to Phil, when can we expect to see Orbit's DApp on the DApp screen on HashPack, so I can just do it all in one? I want a one-stop shop, man. You know me.
Yeah.
I like one-stop shops. That's the way
So
to go.
I think we are in the DApp browser. You just got to scroll down a bit. I'm almost positive Orbit's there. That being said, Warlock, our front end engineer, just met with Pluto, and they're kind of in constant communications now at this point. We're learning from each other, and specifically, they're meeting up to kind of alleviate some of the issues that we're currently running into with trying to connect to Orbit through the DApp browser specifically. So to your point, we are working on that. That is just the experience connecting through the HashPack DApp browser. That alone, we are aware of mobile optimizations. Shortly after we launched Meme Job, we had a lot of input and feedback for mobile, and Warlock started to address that and clean some of it up. But he ran into some kind of real world stuff, and then Meme Job took priority away from that. And now mobile optimization, it's definitely not swept under the rug. I think I'm trying to kind of parse the conversations we've had in the last week or two. I want to say that like a full dedicated sprint for a proper mobile experience is probably getting pushed into early 2026. But that being said, Warlock is aware of the main pressure points, and if something is like game breaking, broken on mobile, he has full power to pivot and address that when he needs to. But yeah, while we're in beta, the scope is kind of focused on the desktop experience, and I don't want to shrub mobile users or traders out of the conversation. It's definitely such an important part of an app like this is mobile optimization and being able to use it on your phone 100%. That being said, until we kind of get the like full scope working spick and span on desktop, I don't think it's gonna be our focus. But that's not to say that like we will not be addressing it. We just kind of have to tackle what's in front of us first.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, that's I mean, I get it. And yeah, I see Phil just DM'd me. It is there. That's what I get for not scrolling all the way down. I have favorited it now, so there we go.
To be
Looking
fair,
forward to it.
it's a long scroll down, so
Yeah. That's why I
sure.
favored it. I favored all my
Yeah.
DApps so that they can be right there on the top. That's a pro move right there.
yeah.
So it's favored it and on the top. Yeah, and whenever that does happen, let me know. I will gladly beta test and find breaks in it to help you get the fixes out sooner as possible. It's kind of one thing that I do in my actual IRL job. So yeah, if you ever need that, I'm here. You know that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no. We're looking forward to it. I think anytime we push an update or push a new feature, like we know feedback's coming, and we kind of really get excited over it. It's fun. It definitely plays back into like being a small team and just kind of always being on an uphill battle, but it's like our battle, so we take a lot of pride in it, and the battle's only going to be good with feedback, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Feedback's always key. And, you know, like I said, credit where credit's due. Anytime I pointed anything out, you guys are super fast to acknowledge and begin fixing. And usually the fixes take no time at all. Same goes with HashPack, too. So, small team it may be, but it is a powerhouse team on both occasions. So, well done.
Locked and loaded. So we are coming up at the end of the hub for today. We talked about kind of what's coming, what our immediate focus is next. Just again, thank you for everyone that pulled up. We're really excited to be doing this, and we'll be here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Western, 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Oh yeah, always a pleasure, man. Thanks again for the invitation. It's always fun doing those with you, man. Every single week, Friday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks again. Have a good weekend, man.
Yeah, all of you. Enjoy your weekend. Live it up. Touch some grass or not. I need to touch some grass personally, but you do you, guys. Don't tell me. Don't listen to me. I'm just a person.